Good morning everyone. Welcome back to grade 5 mathematics class. Have you all finished all the activities from the previous class? So today we'll talk about Roman numerals. Usually we use the numbers from 0 to 9, right? So these numbers were first used by the Indians and the Arabs. Have you heard of the country called Rome? The people of ancient Rome. They were not aware of the concepts of 0 and place values. So instead of using numbers, they were using a combination of 7 letters or symbols. These are the symbols that were used by the Romans to represent different numbers. The symbols and the corresponding values are given here. See? Now, all the Roman numerals were made up by either adding or subtracting these symbols in different combinations. As they were not aware of the concept of 0, there are no zeros in Roman numerals. Now, here is an example. Write the Roman numeral for 522. We have already seen the symbols. See, 522 can be written as 500 plus 20 plus 2. We have a symbol for 500. Now, x represents the value of 10. So, 2x represents a value of 20. And I represents 1. So, 2i, it means the value is 2. So, the number 522 is represented in our Roman numeral as this. We'll see one more example, but this is the reverse of the previous one. You are given the Roman numeral here. You have to write down the corresponding number. So, this is the Roman numeral. So, let's split the symbols with equivalent values. So, C stands for 100. So, again 1. L is for 50. Then you have 2x, 10, 10. And the symbol V corresponds to the value of 5. So, let's add up all the values. So, the Roman numeral, this one equals to sum of all these numbers, which is 275. Now, there are a few rules that we need to keep in mind while forming Roman numerals. We have the rule of repetition, rule of addition, and rule of subtraction. We'll see the rule of repetition first. So, as we said earlier, all the Roman numerals are made up by adding or subtracting these 7 symbols. So, when a symbol is repeated twice or thrice, the value is also added twice or thrice. See, here the symbol I is repeated thrice. Each I represents a value of 1. So, 1 is added thrice to give an equivalent value of 3. Now, we saw all the 7 symbols. Among them, only the symbols I, X, C and M can be repeated, and that too up to a maximum of only 3 times, not more than 3 times. And the symbols V, L and D can never be repeated, or they can never be subtracted from any other numeral. See this example. Write the Roman numeral for 300 and 400. Let's see the first one. 300, we can split it into 100 plus 100 plus 100. We have a Roman numeral that represents 100. That is C. So C, C, C. So 300 is represented as C, C, C. Okay? Now, the next one. 400. Let's split 400. 400 equals 100 plus 100 plus 100 plus 100. So, each 100 is represented by C. But, like we said earlier, we cannot use the same symbol more than 3 times. So, can we write 400 as this? No, we cannot write 400 as C, 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 C. Then how do we represent 400? That we will see once we learn the other rules as well. Okay, so let's see the other rules. We have the rule of addition. So, it says when a smaller numeral is written to the right of a greater numeral, that smaller numeral is added to the greater numeral. See that with an example. See this numeral. Here you have x and I. X represents a value of 10 and I represents a value of 1. So, a smaller numeral is written to the right of a greater numeral. So, we add them together. So, 10 plus 1 equals 11. Now, let's see the rule of subtraction. There are two cases for the rule of subtraction. This is the first case. A smaller numeral written to the left of a greater numeral is always subtracted from the greater numeral. Look at this example. Here you have CM. C represents a value of 100 and M represents a value of 1000. So which is the greater numeral? This is the greater numeral. This is the smaller numeral. So you have the smaller numeral 100 written to the left of the greater numeral 1000. So what do? We subtract the smaller from the greater one. So it's 1000 minus 100 will give you CM equals 900. Now from the example we were discussing earlier, let's see how 400 can be written in Roman numerals. So we know 400 cannot be written as 4 C's. So let's rethink 400 as 400 equals 500 minus 100. We have a symbol for 500 and we have a symbol for 100. So 500 is represented by D and 100 is represented by C. So from the rule of subtraction means if a smaller numeral is written to the left, we subtract that from the bigger numeral. So from that rule, we can write this as 400 equal to CD. Means this is the smaller numeral 100 and this is the bigger numeral 500. So since this is on the left, the equivalent value is taken as 500 minus 100, 400. I hope this is clear to you. Now, let's see the second case of subtraction. It says when a smaller numeral is written between two greater numerals, the smaller numeral is always subtracted from the greater numeral that comes after that. Okay, look at this example. Here you have 2x, 1i and v. You have this i that equals to the value 1 written between x and v. That is between 10 and 5. So 1 is between 10 and 5. That smaller numeral 1 is between the two greater numerals 10 and 5. So in that case, we subtract the smaller numeral 1 from the greater numeral that comes after it, which is 5. So let's take the equivalent value. 2x corresponds to 10 plus 10, right? And here you have the I and v. This one is subtracted from this one. So that is 5 minus 1. So the value is 10 plus 10, 20 plus 5 minus 1 is 4. Remember, the calculation that is given in the bracket is always done first. So 10 plus 10, 20, then 5 minus 1, 4 equals 24. A few more things to keep in mind about subtraction. These are the symbols and the corresponding values. The symbol I can be subtracted only from V and X. X can be subtracted only from L and C. And C can be subtracted only from D and M. Remember we told earlier, V, L and D can never be repeated and never be subtracted from any other numeral. So as an activity, all of you please go through the topic Roman numerals in your textbook. Then you have to do the question number 1 and 2 from exercise 1.6. You can pause the video, finish the activity and come back. I hope you have finished doing that activity. Now let's see the answers. Here is the first question. Write the Roman numerals for the following into Arabic numerals. So the first one is 37. 37. So 30 we can write as 30 equals 10 plus 10 plus 10, which is x, x, x. Then you have 7. How can we write 7? 7 equals 5 plus 2. So that is, we have a symbol for 5, which is this one, and 2 is written as. So how do we write 37? We have to combine these two. So 37 equals 3x's and then I hope this is clear to you and your answer is correct. Now let's see the next question. It's 93. Do we have a symbol for 90, No, right? So now let's see how we can derive 90 from the symbols that we already have. So 93 is our question. How do we take 90? 90 is actually 100 minus 10. We have a symbol for 100, we have a symbol for 10. So for this to happen, the smaller numeral should come to the left. So what is the symbol for 100? It's C. Symbol for 10 is this one. So it is written as XC. So 90 is XC. Now how do we write 3? It is 3 I's. So that's the answer. I hope you understood these two ones. Now let's check the other answers as well. You have 56 as the third question. And do we have a symbol for 50? Yes. The symbol for 50 is L and 6 is written as a V and I. Now let's see question D, 49. So how do we write 49? Do we have a symbol for 40? No, right? And also keep in mind that the symbol L cannot be subtracted from any other numerals. So with those things in mind, let's rewrite 49 as 50 minus 10 plus 9. Okay. So what is the symbol for 50? It is L. And what is the symbol for 10? It is X. So it's L minus X plus this is the symbol for 9. So to write like this, from the rule of subtraction, we have to form the numeral like this and the symbol for 9. So 49 is represented as this. I hope this is clear to you. Now we will see the next question. 68. 68, we cannot write 60 with a Roman numeral. We don't have a symbol for that. So how do we write 60? 60 equals 50 plus 10. Then 50 is L. Okay. Then the symbol for 8. So 68 equals this one. Now the next question. 276. So 276 equals, let's split this. It's 100 plus 100, 200. Then how do you write 70? 70, we don't have a symbol for 70. So let's split 70 into 50 plus 20. 50 plus 20. And then we have 6, which we can easily represent with the symbols. So that is C. Here it is C, C. So it's CC. Then 50 plus 20, L. Then 2x. So it's L, X, X. Then the symbol for 6. Understood? So that's the answer for that one. Now the next question, 1035. How do we write that? 35. Let's split the number. It's 1000 plus 30. We can write as 10 plus 10 plus 10. Then you have 5. We have symbols for all these numbers. So 1000 is represented by M. Here X, 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 and so this is the Roman numeral corresponding to this number. So what about the next question? It's 2012. 2012 equals 1000 plus 1000 plus 12, which is 10 plus 2. So this is M and this is M, this is X. So how do we write that one? It's written as M, M, X, and then 2 I's. I hope all the answers are correct and this is clear to you. Now let's move on to the next question. Write the Hindu-Arabic numerals for the following Roman numerals. So it's just the reverse. You are given the Roman numerals here. You have to write the corresponding numbers. So let's see the first one. It's XL. Okay. So this is 10 and L is 50. A smaller numeral to the left of a bigger numeral. In that case, we subtract. So this is 50. x is 10, then you have the symbol for 7. So 50 minus 10 equals, it's 40 plus 7. So this symbol equals to 47. Now the next one, C, X, L, and then 4. Okay, let's see that one. So C stands for 100, X stands for 10. Then L stands for 50. Then this is for 6. So it's 100 plus, see, smaller numeral, bigger numeral. So it is 50 minus 10, then 6, which is equal to 100 plus 40 plus 6, 146. Let's see the next one. M, X, L. Okay. Now M is for 1000, X is for 10, and it's for 50. So from the previous examples, we know this represents a value of 40. Now this is for 4. So it's 1000 plus 40 plus 4. It's equal to 1044. Now the next one. M, X. It's 1000. X is 10. This is 100. This is 8. So 1000 plus 100, X and C, smaller, bigger. So 100 minus 10 is 90 plus 8. So the answer is 1098. Next one, question D. C, D, L, V. That's 100, 500, 50 and 5. Smaller, bigger. So this is 500 minus 100, 400 plus 50 plus 5. So it's 455. Question F. It's a very simple one. 3 C's means it's 300, 100 plus 100 plus 100, then 5. So the answer is 305. Now question G, you have 100, 100, 20, but here it is 6. So it's 100 plus 100, 226. Now the last one. T, C, X, L. T is for 500. This is for 100 and 10, 50. Then you have 3. From the previous examples, this part we know it is 40. So 500 plus 100 is 600. These two together will make 600. It's 40, then 3. So the answer is 643. I hope all the answers are correct and the concept is clear to you. Now, today we talked about Roman numerals. Please go through the topic from your textbook. Then there's an activity for the day. In your page number 13, you can see these 2 questions. You can note down the target Olympiad, the question from target Olympiad in your notebook and do the answer. Write the answer and go through this one, my project, and do accordingly. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class. Until then, bye.